Hello students, welcome in the last and fifth part of the Municipal Water Supply System presented by Dr. Akleshwar Mathur, Associate Professor Chemistry, Department of Applied Sciences, JIT Jodhpur. In the previous section, we discussed about the screening of water, sedimentation with coagulation, filtration and disinfection of water. In this segment, we will discuss about the chlorination and breakpoint chlorination with advantages and limitations of these methods. Now chlorination. As we discussed earlier that chlorine is the mostly applied disinfecting agent and it is a cheap chemical which is easily available for the process of disinfection. So chlorination method is most widely used in water treatment. Generally, we can use the liquid chlorine or a solution of chlorine of a certain ppm in water for the disinfection, but for the action, we supply liquid chlorine for the disinfection process. The action of chlorine is shown in the chemical reactions. It produces hypochlorous acid when added to water. When the pH is in between 5 to 7, the chlorine reacts with water to produce HOCl and HCl. HOCl destroys the enzymes of the microorganisms, and HOCl, if the pH is less than 7, then it produces OCl-1, that is hypochlorite ions, and H plus 1 ions. So it is necessary to maintain the pH of water during the chlorination process to obtain the maximum disinfection action of the chlorine to provide the safe and clear water. So the optimum pH for the action of chlorine is 5 to 6.5. If the pH of water is less than 5, then it will become more acidic. We can add some alkali material to improve the pH of water. In other way, if the water has a pH more than 6.5, then you can add some acid to reduce the pH of water less than 6.5. The contact time is more, then more disinfection takes place, because we know that if you apply more amount of chlorine with more amount of water for a longer period, then the disinfection action of chlorine will be increased. The temperature increases the efficiency of chlorination process. So we can say that at a particular pH range, that is 5 to 6.5, more contact time and a particular high temperature are the favorable conditions for the disinfection of water by the chlorination method. Now advantages. It has no salt impurities, because in the previous class we discussed the use of bleaching powder which impart the calcium hardness in the water. But in case of chlorine, you are using only the chlorine gas. So there is no salt impurities in the treated water. The chlorinator, you can see in this right hand side diagram, it is a very compact and systematic chlorinator in which chlorine and water are allowed to mix in a container, and the treated water is collected from the water outlet. It is the cheapest chemical. It is a stable compound. Again, it has a positive aspect than the bleaching powder, because we discussed in the last lecture that bleaching powder decreases the amount of active chlorine on storage or on exposure to the sunlight. So in case of chlorination, there is no need to check the physical or chemical quality of the chlorine before addition to the raw water, and it prevents the growth of microorganisms. But each and everything has some limitations or disadvantages with the advantages. So what are the disadvantages? If the pH of the water is high, then it is less effective. Free chlorine less than 0.1 to 0.2 ppm, and excess chlorine will cause the irritation and bad taste in the water. In sometimes we observe in our houses that the water coming from the pipeline has a bad odor or some odor of chlorine. So it is due to the presence of excess amount of chlorine which is still present in water. So due to this chlorine, the water taste becomes bad, and if this water is applied on the skin, it will also irritate the eyes as well as the skin. So it is very necessary to remove the excess chlorine from the water before supplying to the houses. Now in the next segment, we discuss what is breakpoint chlorination, different stages and curves in the breakpoint chlorination, and advantages. This is the process step of the water treatment where the water after filtration is collected in a tank subjected for the chlorination of water. After that it is passed in the closed container, because in open the chlorine will escape due to the action of sunlight and other factors. So it is necessary to perform the chlorination process in the closed container. Now we discuss the breakpoint chlorination. In chlorination, we discussed that the amount of chlorine in the water should be present in the proper concentration which will be effective for the disinfection, but it should not exceed the limit which will develop a bad odor, bad taste or irritation in the potable water. So how can you check the proper amount of chlorine in the potable water? That is breakpoint chlorination. Right? What is breakpoint chlorination? It is a step of municipal water supply treatment, and it is a method to kill or destroy microorganisms present in water. What is chlorination? We already discussed. The process of adding chlorine or compounds of chlorine to water is called as chlorination. Sodium hypochlorite or chlorine is applied to water. And why it is added to water? To avoid the waterborne diseases like cholera, dysentery and typhoid. Now before starting the chemistry behind the breakpoint chlorination, we should aware about some technical terms related with the chlorination and breakpoint chlorination. What is chlorine added? Chlorine added means initial chlorine concentration added to the water. That is the amount of chlorine in parts per million or milligrams per liter added to the concentration of water. That is known as the chlorine added. Chlorine demand. Chlorine demands are the amount of chlorine required to perform the chemical reactions in the water, and which chemical reaction will take place when chlorine is added in water will be discussed in the next slide when we discuss about the different stages of the breakpoint chlorination. Total chlorine. What is the total chlorine? It is the remaining chlorine concentration after chlorine demand or water is met. Total chlorine means when you applied chlorine to the water or some chlorine salt like sodium hypochlorite to the water, then it will be consumed for the oxidation of different chemicals present in the raw water. After that, the remaining chlorine is known as the total chlorine. So chlorine added, amount of chlorine added to the water, chlorine demand, requirement of the chlorine for the different oxidation process to be completed in the water, total chlorine, amount of chlorine remaining after consumption in the chlorine demand. And what is the total chlorine? It is the sum of two types of chlorine, that is the free chlorine and combined chlorine. Free chlorine. The concentration of chlorine available for disinfection is known as the free chlorine. Like if you have money, then different forms of money is now available to us. You can have the cash in your pocket or at your home, or you can have money in different forms like in the form of fixed deposit or in the form of Paytm or in Google Pay or any other type of mode, or even in the form of other resource like ornament, land, a piece of land or a factory or a plot, etc. So If it is present in the indirect form or in the combined form, then it is known as the combined chlorine. Whereas if it is present free, that is the chlorine available for the disinfection is called as the free chlorine, and the chlorine which is not available for the disinfection is called as a combined chlorine. Generally, the compounds of chlorine are considered as the combined chlorine, and the free chlorine or the chloride ions or hypochlorite ions are considered as the free chlorine. Now, the definition of breakpoint chlorination. Chlorination of water to such an extent that not only living organisms but also other organic impurities in water are destroyed is called as breakpoint chlorination. So what is breakpoint chlorination? It is addition of chlorine to the potable water with regular watch to perform two type of functions. Number one, oxidation of the organic compounds present in the water, and second, decomposition or destruction of the microorganisms or pathogens present in the water to provide us the safe water. The graph between chlorine dose and free residual chlorine is plotted. This experiment will be performed when you come for experiments in the engineering chemistry lab. We have an experiment designed in which the amount of free residual chlorine will be calculated by the help of iodometric titration. So you can perform what amount of chlorine is present in different samples of water by this process, by the process of titration by your own hands. In addition to chlorine, at point C is called as a break point. So we discuss different stages of the break point chlorination. Before it, I would like to introduce which type of methods are applied to calculate the amount of chlorine or the free residual chlorine present in the treated water. We can use the titration method, which is a type of redox iodometric titration, which will you perform in the laboratory session, or even we can plan some off-syllabus experiments based on the determination of free residual chlorine in different types of water samples or the treated water samples. Nowadays, the digital testers are also available by which we can directly add water sample to the container and the amount of free residual chlorine is displayed on the screen. The selection of method again depends upon where you are working. If you are working in normal laboratory, we can use the titration method, or if we have the digital facility on mass scale, then we can use the digital tester for the free residual chlorine. This is the graph plotted between the applied dose of chlorine and the residual chlorine present in the treated water. How this experiment is performed? Initially, we add water to the chlorinator and the fixed amount of chlorine is added from the chlorine injector. Suppose initially you add 0 ppm of the chlorine, then there is no free residual chlorine in water. That is, if you are performing the titration of the potable water for testing the free residual chlorine, then the reading of the burette will be 0. Again you add, for example, 1 ppm of chlorine, then there is again 0 free residual chlorine in the water. So in this process, we add the set amount of chlorine in different parts per million concentrations, and we check the free residual chlorine in the treated water. So you have a table in which on x-axis we have the applied chlorine dose in ppm, and on the y-axis we have the chlorine residual ppm, which is tested either by the titration or by the digital chlorinometer to test the amount of free residual chlorine in the treated water. So first of all, we apply the chlorine dose, we make a table on which chlorine dose and chlorine residual present in the water are written. After that, we will make a graph. This graph can be plotted manually or with the help of a software or in the Excel sheet also. If you see the graph, it has four distinct parts. Initially, from 0 to point A, there is zero free residual chlorine in the water. From point A to B, there is continuous increase in the amount of residual chlorine in water. After from point B, there is continued decrease in the residual chlorine in the treated water till you reach the point C. And after point C, we have a continued increase in the residual chlorine in the treated water. For a fun, we can correlate the process of breakpoint chlorination with an example of a person who starts a job. Initially, when the payment is very less, then he obtain the money in the first week, then all the money is exhausted. So there is zero savings in his account. After that, he perform more hard work or he can join some other work with addition to the main work. As a result, the money will increase, and when the amount of money increases, some saving will also increase. So with passage of time, he can obtain a good bank balance with a good interest rate. But after some time, some large mishappening occurs, or he or she have to purchase a plot or to spend money in the marriage of some relative or family member or some education. So instantly the huge amount of money which were obtained by the savings will decrease continuously. And after a while, when he becomes at the age of 50 or 60, a huge amount of bank balance is collected and all the responsibilities of him have been completed. Now, if he again earned money, then the amount of money will increase continuously because there is no expenditure of money, only earning. So in this case, the amount of bank balance will increases continuously. But when you earn more amount of money, you have to pay some tax. So in this breakpoint chlorination, your tax is dechlorination process. That is, if you earn money more than needed, then it is not fair. So by this point, you have to control on the chlorine doses, and it is checked by the breakpoint chlorination. Now we discuss the four stages of the breakpoint chlorination curve. Stage 1, we have the oxidation of reducing compounds by chlorine. So there is no free residual chlorine present in the treated water. After that, formation of chloroorganic compounds and chloramine formed in the stage 2nd. So there is increase in the free residual chlorine. In the third stage, the main action, that is the destruction of chloroorganic compound and chloramine takes place and disinfection process is carried out. After point C, we have the free residual chlorine. So advantages of breakpoint chlorination: complete oxidation of reducing substances, ammonia and organic compounds. It destroyed 100% pathogens present in the water. It prevents the growth of weeds in water and removes bad odor and bad taste from the water. Thank you.